Children, now till now we have seen the shapes and the logic behind the shapes of the all short run cost curves. Right, now the next thing that we have to study is the relationship between average cost and marginal cost. The diagram is already flashed for you. You can see the diagram. The diagram is an easy one, so I am not drawing it for you. You can understand it well. Let us see the relationship between average cost and marginal cost. I have already told you that marginal cost is associated with average cost, average variable cost, and in the same manner it is associated with average total cost also, because this cost is a cost of variable factor. This has nothing to do with the fixed factor, so it is not associated with fixed cost. So the fixed cost curve is not drawn on this diagram, only the variable cost curve and total cost curves are drawn in the diagram. The first relationship between the average cost and marginal cost is that when marginal cost is less than the average cost. Now you can see that marginal cost is less than the average cost till you can say OQ1 or beyond OQ1 also. Before OQ2 the marginal cost is less than average cost falls, right. When the marginal cost is less than average cost, or average cost falls with increase in output. Now to refer the diagram, as long as marginal cost curve lies below the average total cost curve up to OQ2 amount of output, ATC curve, that is the total cost curve, slopes downward. Now when you are saying this, it doesn't matter whether MC curve itself sloping downward or upward. What all we are saying, that as long as marginal cost curve is less than average cost curve will fall. Now marginal cost curve itself may fall or rise. We are not saying that, right. Now, and the same relationship applies with the average variable cost curve also with the marginal cost. The second relationship that is established between average cost and marginal cost is that when marginal cost is more than the average cost, that is the beyond the intersection of both beyond the intersection point of marginal cost for both the ABC and ATC, the average cost is rising. What we say earlier in the first point, that when marginal cost is less than average cost is falling. When marginal cost is more than average cost is rising. Now again referring to the diagram, MC curve lies above the ATC curve beyond OQ2 of output, and in this range ATC curve is rising. That is what is very obvious in the diagram. So long as the marginal cost is higher than the average cost, in mathematical terms it pulls up the average cost, leading to rise in average cost. You can refer to the schedule also in order to clear the concept, right. Then third relationship, when marginal cost is equal to average cost. So we are talking three things. When marginal cost is less than average cost is falling. When marginal cost is more than average cost is rising. When they both intersect each other, then what happens? Average cost is constant. Again you can see the figure and you see that average cost is minimum and constant for a while at point L according to your diagram on ATC curve. And the important thing is MC curve cuts the ATC curve at this minimum point, showing that marginal cost equals average cost at this point of reduction, right. Now when you are talking about all this, what we are only talking about is the direction of movement of average cost and the magnitude of marginal cost. I repeat myself, when we are talking all this about, we are only talking about the direction of movement of average cost, that is when marginal cost, when we say that when marginal cost is less than average cost is falling. We are talking about the direction of movement of average cost but magnitude of marginal cost. But we cannot say anything about the direction of movement of marginal cost from the direction of movement of average cost, right. When so this is what we are talking about. Then other thing is that that average cost, in summation we can say that average cost curve falls first, reaches the minimum and then rises. So therefore up to the minimum point of the AC curve, that is the minimum point of AC curve is L, right? The MC curve will be below the AC curve. Beyond the minimum point, it has to be above the AC curve. This would simply mean that MC curve has to cut the average cost curve from below. This is very important and you will have to keep it in mind, so as to be below the AC curve up to the minimum point and above it when AC curve rises. Now the same relationship can be shown with the help of this simple diagram also, and here you see that this figure shows that when M, that is marginal cost, is more than A, that is average cost, A rises, right? You can see the first one. Then when M is less than A falls, and when M is equal to A, then A is constant. So this is the easier way, but whenever the diagram you are asked about the relationship, you will be drawing the first diagram. Most preferably you will be drawing the first diagram, and I hope this concept is clear to you. So with this, the short run cost curves and their relationship is done, right? The next thing is in the chapter is the revenue, because the caption of your chapter is cost and revenue analysis. Cost is the expenditure which the firm bears on account of production of any commodity, and revenue is the income that is earned by selling that output. So revenue, meaning of revenue is receipt by a firm from the sale of its product in a given period. Now it is the sale receipts of a firm. There are three main concepts of revenue again: total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue. So the total revenue it refers to the total amount of income received by the firm from selling a given amount of its product. It is the total earning of the firm from the sale of its product. Now total revenue can be derived, the formula for this is TR is equal to P into Q, that is price into quantity. Total revenue is equal to price multiplied by quantity, right? Now what we see over here is that total revenue depends both on the price of the good being sold and the number of units that are sold at that price. For example, that if a firm sells 15 units of a product at a price of ₹20, that means total revenue of the firm will be 50 into 20 into 15 is equal to 300 rupees. Now the total revenue from the firm's point of view is the same thing as the total expenditure from the side of consumer. The two are the two sides of the same coin. So total revenue can be obtained from marginal revenue by adding the marginal revenue of all the units that is similar, that is TR is equal to sigma MR. Alright, then we come to average revenue. Average revenue is the amount of revenue earned per unit of the product sold. Now it is the per unit revenue from the sale of 1 unit of commodity. Again you can derive it by simply saying AR is equal to TR. Now TR is the product of P into Q. You are right, you can write it this way also, AR is equal to TR upon Q, or it is equal to P into Q upon Q, that is also is equal to average revenue, that is P. Average revenue in this case is P. P and average revenue is the same, that I'll let you know why. Now in our example, when we earlier said when total revenue is equal to 300, where we said that 20 into 15 is equal to 300 received from selling 15 units of the product, the average revenue will be equal to ₹20, that is 300 divided by 15, that is equal to 20. If all, now something different we will talk about over here, that if all the units of the commodity are sold at the same price. Now this is a concept which is applied in a perfectly competitive market. You have already studied perfect competition, so there you know that the firm is selling all the units of the commodity at the same price, and so firm is a price taker. So keeping that concept in mind, we say that if all the units of a commodity are sold at the same price, right, then obviously average revenue is the price of the commodity. Average revenue is the per unit income revenue earned by selling a unit. right? So if you are selling all the units at the same price, that means price is equal to average revenue, P is equal to AR, right? Then marginal revenue is defined as the addition to total revenue which results from the sale of one additional unit of the product. We can generalize it by putting it in an algebraic form, that is marginal revenue resulting from the sale of nth unit of a commodity is the change in the total revenue when sale rises from n minus 1 units to n units per period. And symbolically we can say MR of nth is equal to TR of n minus TR of n minus 1. I hope you are well trained to derive this MR from TR and TR from MR, right? Now putting the example in the same scenario, to continue with our earlier example, that the firm earns a total revenue of rupees 300 when it sells 15 units at a price of rupees 20. So 20 into 15 is equal to 300. Now when comes marginal, if the sale of the commodity is increased from 15 to 16 units and the firm earns a total revenue of rupees 304 by selling each unit at a price of rupees 19, this is what you will derive. If you will multiply 16 into 20, then you will be, this is what you will be deriving. So the outcome will be rupees 19, and this means TR is equal to 19 into 16 is equal to 304. Then the additional revenue which results from the increase in sale by 1 unit is rupees 4, that is 304 minus 300 is equal to 4. So since marginal revenue is the change in total revenue as a result of change in sale, we can also write it down as MR is equal to delta TR upon delta Q. Now the next thing that we will see is the behavior of revenue under different market structures, and we will be seeing the relationship between two market structures, between perfect competition and imperfect competition. Alright children, the next topic that we are going to cover is the behavior of revenue under different market structures. Now when you say that revenues behavior under different market structure, we are saying this because every market has its own price policy, so the revenue will be different in different market structures. I hope that you have already studied the different forms of markets, so you are well aware of the concept of market. We will be studying two kinds of market over here. One is perfect competition and the other is the imperfect competition. Alright, these two major forms of market are there. The first relationship that we are going to see is the relationship between total, average and marginal revenues under perfect competition. Now when we talk about perfect competition, I will say only few things about it because you already know. Perfect competition is a market structure where there is ruling price is there, that is the price is decided by the industry and firm is only a price taker over there. That means the firm is decided by the industry, taken together all firms, and each and every firm takes the price and charges the same price from the consumer. So firm is a price taker, and firm the demand curve of the firm is given by the industry. Now keeping this point in mind, we will see that a firm under perfect competition is able to sell additional unit of output at the ruling price, that is every unit, every successive unit to which we term as additional to be relative over here. Additional is marginal unit. Every additional unit is sold by the firm at the same price, and to that price we say ruling price because it is given by the industry to a firm. So it is not required, the firm is not required to reduce the price to sell more because it is not the price policy of the market. Therefore the behavior of and the relation between total revenue, average revenue and marginal revenue will be different under perfect competition as compared to imperfect competition. Now, since a firm under perfect competition is not required to reduce the price while selling more units of the output, the average revenue is constant because all the units are sold at the same price, and average revenue is the revenue earned by selling selling per unit of output, right? So, under this kind of market, the average revenue of the firm is same, constant at all levels of output, because you'll have to draw the diagram also. So just draw a picture in your mind also, that average revenue is constant at all levels of output. The moment the term constant comes, you must have a straight line in your mind, right? Now this is because AR, that is average revenue, is the same as price. You can see the schedule is shown in the slide, the picture. You can see the column, AR column, where 15 is shown at all levels of production. Price is also 15 and average revenue is also 15. And how you are deriving average revenue? By dividing total revenue with quantity. Now, so since AR is the same as price, and market price under perfect competition is not affected by variation in the firm's output, that is, whatever the output may be the firm, maybe by the firm, but the price of the commodity will not change, right? So it is clear from table that average revenue is same, 15 at all levels of output, right? And graphically, if you see, this is about the table, this is about the average revenue curve. So what we are saying over here, that in perfect competition, average revenue and price is the same and they are constant, 15. That is what shown in the table. Then next thing comes is MR. Since every additional unit can be sold at the same price, right? This is what we said, that all the units are sold at the ruling price. That means first unit is also sold at the same price, and then second unit is the additional unit for the firm, so that unit is also sold at the same price. That means additional unit is also sold at the same price. It follows that firm's marginal revenue, that is the additional revenue resulting from an increase in sale by one unit, is constant and equal to the price of the product. I believe you are catching it. When all the units are sold at the same price, that means P, price, is equal to AR, average revenue, is equal to MR. So in perfect competition, P is equal to AR is equal to MR. Alright, and it will be constant, and this is all shown in the table also. MR is also 15 at all levels of production, right? This is what you are seeing in the schedule. Alright. Now graphically, when you see the diagram, the first diagram that is shown over here is the diagram of average revenue or marginal revenue or price. We have talked about it, and on OX axis you are depicting the output of the firm, and OY axis you are showing the revenue, that is average revenue, marginal revenue and price. They all are coinciding in the same line, and it is a line parallel to OX axis because price is equal to average revenue and is equal to marginal revenue, and they all coincide in the same line, and it is equal to rupees 15 over here, and so the price line is constant. Now what we say in terms of economic term, what we say over here, the shape of the curve is that AR curve is a horizontal straight line that is parallel to X axis drawn at the level of market price, OP. You can see that as shown in figure in the diagram. Now for the other, like AR curve, MR curve is also a horizontal straight line parallel to X axis. Graphically it is shown that AR and MR curves coincide at the level of market price, OP, showing that AR is equal to MR at all levels of output. Now since the firm can sell any quantity it chooses at this price, the horizontal line AR, be careful about it here, that since the firm can sell any quantity it chooses at this price, the firm chooses, because that is only what is left with the at the disposal of the firm, the quantity that it wanted to sell in the market. The horizontal line AR is called price line or demand curve facing a competitive firm. Now the question may come from here. Generally a question comes from this section, so be careful while you are self-studying. It shows that the firms under perfect competition is able to sell any amount it wishes at the given market price. Now total revenue. Total revenue we have not discussed yet. Now you can see the diagram again. The total revenue curve is a positively sloping curve, but the slope of the curve is constant. What do you mean by that? Now total revenue however changes, because it is the total revenue is the product of P into Q. So the total revenue will change. It is a product of price into quantity. So total revenue how it changes with a change in output, since price under perfect competition is constant, right? It follows that the total revenue varies in direct proportion to output, that is, it shows that total revenue is increasing all through at all levels of output, and it is increasing by a constant amount. That amount is rupees 15, because all the units are per unit is also sold at the same price, and all the units of the commodity are sold at the same price. So the change in total revenue is constant, right? So in figure shows that TR curve is a positively sloping straight line from the origin, and its positive slope is constant as determined by the price or AR. TR curve is continuously sloping upwards because total revenue is increasing continually. The curve must pass through the origin, because at zero output TR is also zero. It has to begin with origin, point of origin. Moreover, it is a straight line with a constant positive slope, because price as well as marginal revenue are constant. This is all about the relationship of total, average and marginal revenue in a perfectly competitive market.